Make sure to get me that Mad Dog sound so I could get to it before the end of this hour. But we've got someone here who might even be funnier than Mad Dog sound. He's buzzed about, right? He's the comedian right now that is super hot, and he's selling out shows on his national tour, lucaszelnick.com, if you want full tour dates and tickets. Thank you for joining us, Lucas. I appreciate it. And I'm wondering, on your career path here, what made you more nervous? The first time you did stand-up, or when you told the people who love you that you wanted to be a comedian for a living?
You know what? I think I made the right call, and I didn't tell the people who love me that I wanted to be a comedian until after I'd done a fair amount of stand-up.
Oh, okay. So you weren't, was it because you weren't sure that you wanted to do it as a career, or you weren't sure what they'd say?
It's just like being a comedian is kind of like being gay. Like you want to really make sure you are before you go out and tell all your friends you are. You know what I mean?
And so
Nothing wrong with it if you're sure, but you don't want to have to walk that one back.
so how long did you go before you like, how much doubt was there before you realized, no, I'm going to go ahead and try and make a go of this, and I can make a go of it successfully?
Honestly, it was like probably 2 years, which I think makes it different from the gay analogy. I think if you if you tried being gay for 2 years, you'd probably know pretty quickly. But comedy, I don't know, because the pandemic really changed how comedy was working. So I just didn't know if it was going to be like a career path. I know I liked it, but I was pretty bad when I started too, so I just wasn't sure.
So where and when did Crowdwork make an appearance on the popularity scale? Because Crowdwork is now, and I know comedians have different opinions about this, but it's just a chance to be clever very quickly, the way you've probably been all your life whenever you discovered funny, right? And so it's being rewarded, and it seems to also be changing the game. And some older comedians seem to not respect crowd work very much because they think it's a little bit lazy or whatever, but you're exceptional at it.
Well, everyone does it a little bit in like an hour long set, even if they don't mean to. It's just like if you're doing a live set for an hour at a comedy club, you usually end up riffing or talking to someone for some amount of it. Usually people don't, completely ignore the live element of the show for a full hour. But I think, yeah, I think older comedians certainly don't respect the way in which new comedians are using it as clickbait to draw people out to shows. I always had like a natural knack for it, and it did start from being bad at comedy and not being able to do my jokes, which is that's the knock on crowd work. It's like, oh, these are for guys that don't have good jokes. It was for me in the beginning. Nowadays, I think my act is a lot stronger, so I don't have to do it if I don't want, but I enjoy doing 10, 15 minutes of it if I'm doing an hour set anyway. No one needs more than 45 minutes of jokes. So but I realized I was good at it truly because I think people started to give me more time up there and I didn't have the goods for it. It is kind of the negative stereotype. Like I was like, oh, I guess I'll just make fun of some guy in the front row, and then I did that and that worked for me. So then but that all happened around 2021. And I think that kind of coincided with the moment that a lot of people were on TikTok discovering stand-up comedy. A lot of people that, the pandemic was happening. They had never been to a live show. Maybe they were young, maybe they were under 21, when the pandemic started, and then all of a sudden, they could go to a live show when it ended. So I got very lucky with that timing and that kind of people were really eating it up on the internet back then, and that's when I started posting it.
It's interesting to me the role that social media has played when it comes to comedians who tour like yourself, because comedians will post crowd work on social media clips because they don't want their material to be out there, and you could see funny little snackable bites of crowd work. And then I wonder, do you get people at shows who maybe aren't regulars at comedy shows who see these clips and they think it's like a normal thing for the crowd just to be interacting with the comedian all show?
Yeah, it's possible. As long as everyone's respectful, I don't really mind what they are expecting coming in. I deliver what I want to deliver, and I understand that not everyone's gonna want to come back, Um, if someone's bothering me or heckling me, I just shut it down right then and there, and I'll have the club be pretty tight on it. people in general get the vibe, I think, that they know that there's a difference between sort of being disruptive and interacting with me. And I think sometimes people will leave the show and say, I wish there was more crowd work because I don't do that much of it. And other times people will go, wow, I'm so glad I came because I didn't know if you had any jokes, and then I saw the show and I love your jokes. So I'm looking for those people because that's going to be what I do moving forward. Like the more experience you get as a comedian, the more terrifying crowd work becomes. When you're really bad, crowd work makes a lot of sense because you're like, anything's better than these terrible jokes that I've written about Hitler. But then you get, you get older into it. And once you have good jokes, it's like you understand that crowd work is a risk because it's not always funny. And if you write good jokes, those usually are funny, at least more consistently than the crowd work. So these days I do a lot more jokes just because I think the jokes are better than, the average result I'll get from doing crowd work. But crowd work's still fun. And then every once in a while, it's like it can be pretty magical when whatever set of circumstances line up, when multiple people have something in common or someone's got a crazy story. When that kind of stuff happens, it can be the highlight of the night for sure.
What's the best chum for crowd work? You walk out on stage. Is it an overly confident guy? Is it a meek person? What's the person, like you're walking out on stage and you're like, oh, I'm going to hammer this person?
I always start with a dude because it's easier to be mean to a dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like pretty much, I hate to go back to this, but pretty much calling a guy like a straight dude gay is pretty much always just going to be an easy in. Calling a gay dude gay, not as funny, I've found out. Actually, a hate crime. But that's like where I start. But a lot of the time, the things that I get known for are interacting with people that maybe like people are more sensitive around, maybe a different type of group, whether that's someone of a different race or gender orientation or sexuality. I typically have a skill in sort of like walking down a road that's going to make people nervous, that's going to make people think I'm going to say something really bad, and then kind of subverting that expectation. So I like that, but I do think it's not for the weak of constitution, because you gotta trust me and also, not be. I like to treat everyone like they're normal people. So, some people do have the view that you can't treat certain people the same way as other people. I don't really subscribe to that for the most part. So if people don't like that, that's, that can be an issue.
How often does it happen, and how annoying is it when you point at somebody in the audience and their response is to obviously try to be funnier than you?
Depends if it works. You always got to listen to the audience. If the audience can get a bigger laugh than you can't be the guy who's like, well, that wasn't funny. Like, you listen to the audience. I always listen to the audience for everything. So like the audience doesn't really know this, but like they kind of control the show in that they sort of play me like a puppet. Like I just follow their laughter. So if it's jokes and then I start doing crowd work and they don't laugh, I stay away from crowd work. If it's crowd work and they're not laughing at the jokes, I'll lean into that. If the audience loves someone that, even if they're kind of annoying me, I'll give it at least a chance to try and grow on me. So I don't ever try to be the guy that's like, I think the worst comedians you'll ever see are sort of in denial because they have an agenda up there that's separate from what the audience is picking up. I don't really believe in that. So it's like if some dude makes some dumbass comment, and can I curse on here?
Yeah, but the way you're describing this though is sort of zen, right? You have to have real confidence to lay back and allow the audience to lead you.
Yeah, I guess it's either confidence or it's just like, I don't know, you can't, I've done this enough now where you just got to know how to not swim against the current too much because you're being perceived by all these people. And I don't know, I think the thing that I always hated about stand-up comedy growing up, like when I saw it live, because I grew up in New York City, so every once in a while I'd go, there's so much stand-up in New York that you could maybe like walk by a comedy club and pop your head in, especially as a teenager. And then like, not at the Comedy Cellar where you see professional great comedy, but like when I went to like an open mic night, the biggest thing I remember noticing was like, this guy on stage has no clue what the people in the audience think is funny. And he almost seems resentful that like the people in the audience think something's different, something different's funny than what he wants to make funny. So when I became a comedian, it was pretty important to me, and I didn't get it right. I still don't always get it right, but it was pretty important to me to have a better connection with the audience. That way, like, if the audience wants something, you're an entertainer. You give them that. You give them what they want for the most part. Now you want to take them to interesting places. Like, you don't want to just listen to what they want all the time. You want to try and push them a little bit. But if you're getting pushed back, you got to listen to that. So, when someone's funnier than me, I guess, like, I just let them be that for as long as they can, and then I'll comment on that. But I try to comment on what I perceive the reality to be in the room when I'm commenting on it. And if I want to be doing jokes, I'll be doing jokes. If someone's interrupting that, that's a problem. I've never had it happen that someone's being like really disruptive and annoying and the audience likes them better than me. But if that happened, I guess I'd be at a bit of an impasse there. That would mean I'm probably really bombing. Like, the audience usually takes your side unless you're bombing, you're bombing hard.
How does the feeling of killing a show compare to the feeling of bombing? Like, which outweighs the other?
Oh, bombing is so much stronger than killing. Because at this point, killing, I mean, you're sealing what you think is a kill always changes. The same with a bomb, by the way. Like, when you're starting out, what you think is a kill would probably now be a bomb for me all these years later. But killing feels like the job. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a really great set, I obviously have fun. I feel good about it. I'm happy. But I'm like, yeah, I delivered what these people paid to come see. If I bomb, I have like a crisis of identity because I'm like, I'm trying to think of, like, I guess, with all entertainment, you're always taking the risk that you could go see it and it's going to be bad. You buy a movie ticket, maybe it's bad, but there's something that feels so profoundly like I cheated these people. If I really bomb, I'm just like, damn, because sometimes they pay a lot of money or they drive a long way, you know what I mean? And so to just like totally bomb, it's like, it doesn't feel anywhere nearly, like, it feels so much more bad than a kill feels.
When's the
good.
last time it happened to you? When's the last time you feel like or the worst of the bombs as you recall them most recently?
In Philly, like 2 weeks ago, there was actually someone that was really disruptive, and they were just kept heckling my set, and I wasn't getting much help from the club staff taking care of them. They also weren't being funny. Also, they were the worst kind of heckler is someone that says it quietly. So like you can hear it. It's like disrupting your flow from the front row, but not everyone in the room can hear it. So you don't know exactly how to address it. And then you're just getting like annoyed. The biggest thing is like if I'm getting annoyed, I really try not to show it up there because that's like not fun for anyone. Like I don't always want to be up there, but it's like no one wants to hear that. Like all these people that, paid
Yes.
for. So it's like if you're pissed off up there, you better not show it because that is not what these people paid to see. So it was one of those nights where I was getting pissed off and, and that night, I think the biggest thing was like, I lost the desire to try and do anything possible to make the audience happy because I was getting so annoyed. I was like, screw it. I'm just going to like stick to the script a little bit. So I just kind of did my jokes with like not a great amount of, oomph, and I just got off. But like usually if something's not working, I try a few little forks in the road to try and wiggle it into a kill, If you're not connecting right up front, I try and make sure that by the end of the set it's really killing. But sometimes I just don't. I'm like, something pisses me off that I don't care enough to try and give these people a good night, which is that's a me problem.
I resent them.
Happens.
I resent me. I'm leaving now. I'm going to do the rest of my material and leave the stage. LucasZelnick.com is where you go if you want tour dates and tickets. Greg, get us out of here with it.
I'm curious if there's an anti-bombing strategy. Do you have a particular bit that's designed to turn around a crowd that doesn't seem to be with you?
Oh man, no, I double down and I'm like a gambling addict. I will double down until it either comes full circle or some people are walking out. So my strategy is double down.
Do you get a lot of, you look like Christian Yelich? Do you get a lot of, or you look like a professional golfer with the cap here? Do you get any of that? No?
I think what are the ones I've heard? Walmart, Austin Butler, Tanner from Love on the Spectrum. I get a lot. I don't get that many sports comparisons. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think people. I don't quite look athletic enough.
I got one. Rory McIlroy.
Rory.
Oh, I get Rory. Sometimes I get Rory.
Yeah, professional golfer. So last thing on the way out, and again, lucaszelnick.com is where you go. Do you have a joke that represents the longest you've worked on a joke? Like, do you have a joke that you've been trying to perfect for months or years?
I have one of the jokes that I first ever wrote is still in my act. It's grown a lot. Like it now has like 5 things after it that are sort of all attached to it in a chunk. But this idea, it's one of my least likable jokes, one of my double down jokes for sure. But the joke is that I'm not religious because I grew up rich, so I never needed that excess hope. And that's one that was like one of the first things I ever wrote because I was trying to do biographical stuff. I was starting comedy. I was like some rich New York City kid, didn't think I had a place in comedy. Sometimes still don't, but I wrote that joke early on. Now it goes a bunch of ways after that and it has a long way, but that one's still in the act. I don't know if it will be next year, but I still tell it. And I probably wrote that 5-6 years ago now.
Lucas, thank you for joining us. Where are you getting most of your material these days? Do you have one place that by percentage is larger than all the others for your material?
I think the country's making it easy. No matter which side you're on, everyone's talking about the same stuff, just with completely different perspectives about it. So I usually start with about 15 minutes of political humor. If you can't make it through that, you're going to hate the rest of the set.
lucaszelnick.com is where you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate yours.
Yeah.
That was Chris Cody saying that guys are the easiest to beat up on.
Yeah.
That was evident as we pounded poor Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeremy is now in another room working on music privately, trying to do spoof songs.
Yeah.
Working alone, not wanting to work with us anymore.
Yeah.
Just a private room. Chris, you really enjoyed the bullying of
I did. These two back there.
What do you mean these two?
Jeremy.
I had to get a paper towel because I was crying.
Yeah, you guys were laughing a lot. So
I wanted you to set Jeremy up for him to do crowd work on Jeremy during that interview. That would have been funny.
I saw at the beginning of what was happening with Pablo that Jeremy and Tony were on the same team, and I thought it was borderline evil the way that Mike Ryan took you and put you on his side.
No. So here's what happened, right? At some point, Pablo was talking about how the NBA, like, there's no rules. The owners don't follow the rules. And then the rest of the country, and I'm like, yeah. There are no rules. Have you not been paying attention, Pablo? I know you've been locked in on this aspiration.
That's right.
Nobody follows the rules anywhere.
That's right.
I think he noticed that.
Yeah.
I
The
figured.
wealthy just have a weird relationship with punitive measures.
They have zero relationship with punitive measures, which is another story. But as that's going, I'm going to jump in and say something, and then Pablo goes on for another 5 minutes of diatribe. So I'm like, all right, my window closed. Mike's like, hey, did your window closed? I'm like, yeah, I kind of did. So he's like, all right, Jeremy, you go. So at that point, that's where I switch over and I go, all right, Ruben Bain over here on Mesut on the other
Jeremy
side.
didn't see it coming.
Let's see what Jeremy's got to say here.
And
I think
Chris
I did
Cody
ask him at one point, you sure?
and Chris Cody enjoyed too much. You got to go after a guy.
You do. He's right about that.
Your though supporting.
How are we not supposed to go after that, Dan? there's a video up top
Great
right now
job by the
of
video
Jeremy
team.
singing, and he's like moving up and down his shoulders, like his eyebrows. His hands are moving now.
No, this feels mean.
Yeah.
This feels like
He
too
doesn't know
much.
we're watching him. This is vulnerable. This is voyeuristic.
Oh, now it's too much. When
This
you
is
did it to me,
criminal.
just
It's
like-
funny. Well, we never replayed the sound. Before we get to Mad Dog, please find for me the sound of you reading in another room that we meant to get to 3 or 4 shows ago when you didn't know we were watching you as you were trying to
efforting.
read. Just find that for me.
Take your time, guys.
In the interim, let's go ahead and just play the Mad Dog sound that you guys have said I have to get to today. I have not heard it. Zaslow, do you want to give me any context here that doesn't spoil this sound?
It's the biggest story in the NBA going into All-Star Weekend is 2 things, all right? It's tanking and it's load management, and just Dog is on top of it.
But I love here, I want to add a little more context. There's music underneath here. It's Bruce Springsteen. I edited it a little bit so you don't hear too much of us and get us pinged. But he is like playing off of Bruce Springsteen throughout all of
It's
this.
Doggy being dog.
This is a 21-year-old kid with the Wizards, and Jackson decided to sit out. God damn it! Hit it, Bruce! And here it is. I sat here and I gave her the date. November before Thanksgiving in 2017, and I walked in there in the off season and did an hour show with the freaking high heat, sick as a freaking dog, and then walked in here and did a monologue, and I said I can't take it. I'm so sick I gotta leave, and I took the train home. And 3 days later, I was in the freaking Stanford hospital, and the doctor said, how the hell did you survive this? And then I sat there on a Tuesday night. He sat there and operated on me for 3 hours to get an appendix out, a ruptured one. Chris Russo. And Jared Jackson can't play in the fourth quarter in a game in February, making $50 million a year. I mean, this is absurd. And Springsteen at 80 years of age playing 3.5 hours every freaking night. My goodness, what does the world come to, this garbage? Garbage! You should be ashamed, NBA. Ashamed. You got that? Cousy, Dolph Shays, Wilt, ashamed!
That's fantastic.
So
Legend.
he's citing
How does
a
he do this?
show. He's citing that he did high heat in 2017 for an hour and then needed to be hospitalized.
The doctor asked him, how did you do this?
He had a ruptured appendix.
Jared Jackson got to play a fourth quarter.
Flu game.
He's citing that 8 years ago, he did an hour of high heat with a ruptured appendix that amazed his doctor. Why, for $50 million, can't somebody play the fourth quarter?
What's missing there is high heat in the off season, Dan. There's nothing to talk about. Had an hour.
I took the train home. And 3 days later, I was in the freaking Stanford hospital, and the doctor said, how the hell did you survive this? And then I sat there on a Tuesday night. He sat there and operated on me for 3 hours to get an appendix out, a ruptured one. Chris Russo. And Jared Jackson can't play in the fourth quarter in a game in February, making $50 million a year.
That saxophone.
That's a bit much.
No, it's not a bit much. It's perfect. It's why he's that motivated and losing breath, because he loves Springsteen so much. And Clarence, God rest his soul.
Rest in power. Yeah. That was the most grating part of the clip. The sax.
But he was motivated by it to tell you. He just shouted his name. Did you hear him? Chris Russo. He just said his name.
I know.
It doesn't even. Why did he say his name?
Well, maybe you didn't know who he was talking about.
Chris Russo, can play hurt when his appendix is ruptured, but Jaren Jackson Jr. can't play the fourth quarter, being paid $50 million a year.
Him tossing to Bruce.
Hit it, Bruce!
Oh, you got to hit that post.
And here it is.
Well, he does feel like Bruce Springsteen is playing behind him as he enjoys life in a
Stands
way
on a soapbox.
that is bigger than Bruce Springsteen. He does feel like the soundtrack to introduce him is Bruce Springsteen.
Hit it, Bruce! And here it is. I sat here.
So good, man.
Hall of Fame.
I love that guy.
Hall of Fame.
How does he keep doing
I've
it?
never loved someone I haven't met in person.
It's the greatest.
And I love him.
Banger after banger after banger after banger.
Pablo Torre is also producing banger after banger. I don't know how you guys reacted to Jerry West saying the old school Kawhi, if he goes to the Lakers, isn't going to get his name in the paper.
I know, I noticed that.
You think Kawhi is thinking to himself, how do I get my name in a newspaper?
How do I get Bill Plaschke to write about me in the LA Times?
The old white people who run sports are so funny. Jerry West doing Ballmer's bidding because Ballmer says, I want you guys to sort of absorb the amazing in Ballmer saying in 2017, yeah, Kawhi seems pretty good. I want him. What do I have to do to get him? I'm going to get him. Then he gets him, and then quietly here, James Harden's traded. Zubac is traded. They've just torn the whole thing down, it loses forever. It loses in a way that makes the Oklahoma City historically good, feeding off of their mistake. Do you guys not marvel, whether you're bored of the Kawhi story? I know All-Star Weekend is going there, and Nick Wright is fixing the NBA with Bill Simmons, but what has been birthed in the 15 years of LeBron as he's making all-NBA teams throughout it, what's been birthed is the grotesque dysfunction that comes from athlete doesn't trust his organization. It all breaks apart with San Antonio. Athlete trusts his trainer when it comes to his body, not the team. Athlete trusts his uncle, not Steve Ballmer, as it comes to how is it I'm going to get my money. Most powerful, richest owner in sports says, I don't have to play by the rules, allegedly. I just get what I want, right? I'm the richest. I get what I want, however it is that I want it. I'm going to win because I'm going to get the best player. And now it's just lawsuits and paperwork and an assortment of things because nobody's actually keeping his secret.
Right. Can you imagine being that wealthy, making millions of dollars per minute without doing anything, just because your money, increases tenfold a day?
But it doesn't cost you anything to give Kawhi a no-show job, allegedly, that pays him $48 million a year. And that's one of the ways you get him extra money. Because money, like, what difference? What does $48 million mean to Steve Ballmer? Like,
Right.
Isn't that something he can make in a fraction of a day?
Yep.
A fraction of a day, Steve Ballmer's money multiplies in a way that makes your rules and money meaningless, correct?
Yeah, and you think you're so powerful that no one can penetrate your shield, and if you do get in trouble, you can buy your way out of that too. I can only imagine the ego that comes with being that wealthy and thinking you can do anything, you can buy anything you want.
I wanted to ask you guys whether anyone has given thought to Tony Dungy still being on television, giving opinions poorly, while Tony Dungy refuses to answer, correct? Whether or not he voted for Belichick, which suggests, I assume at this point, if you're refusing to answer,
That's the answer.
that is the answer on that one, right? You either boldly and proudly stake your non-controversial opinion that I voted for Belichick, or if you recuse yourself, that's incriminating.
It's tantamount to taking the Fifth Amendment. You're allowed to do it, but people think you're hiding something. People think you don't want to tell the truth, so you're taking the Fifth. I think the first rule of being a Hall of Fame voter in any sport should be full transparency. Fans have a right to know who you voted for and who you didn't vote for.
You mentioned this yesterday. Here's Rodney Harrison telling Tony Dungy to his face that he doesn't respect that opinion. But I do think interesting that I am not hearing anywhere nationally, why have Tony Dungy and Rodney Harrison been allowed to have those jobs for that long?
Which is any list that doesn't include Bill Belichick at the top is absolutely wrong. And a lot of those players that we mentioned, they're great players. I played with Drew Brees. I played with Adam Vinatieri. But there's nobody more deserving to be in that Hall of Fame than Coach Belichick. I've seen his greatness. I've seen him design defenses to stop your offense. And you just look at the players that he's impacted. He's been unbelievable. And when I look out throughout the Hall of Fame, and even a guy like Tom Brady wouldn't be Tom Brady without Bill Belichick. And that's the disappointing part of it, Coach, and you guys got it wrong.
That's actually a pretty good moment for Rodney Harrison.
That's a major call out.
For sure.
Yeah, Tony Dungy just takes it on the chin. I mean, Tony Dungy's lack of really anything for NBC in the Super Bowl has even gotten Michael Kay calling for him to be fired.
Not just at the Super Bowl, ever.
I think Dungy comes off pompous enough that now look, him refusing to say who he voted for obviously is the answer. It means that he didn't vote for Belichick. But I think that he's pompous enough to believe that when he says that, he actually believes he is withholding his vote from everyone. Like, I don't think he sees it that way. I think he actually believes, no, I'm not telling you, when we all know he's telling us.
I would just like the truth from Tony Dungy. It can be Spygate was big enough where he doesn't deserve to be first ballot. He's going to make it next year. It can be anything that the truth is, but the truth isn't I don't remember or I don't want to answer that. I mean, that's just evasive to a fault.
And it's highly suspicious that it's coming from Indianapolis Colts that were embroiled in that rivalry there that probably might be bitter. Wait, these guys found some sort of advantage? Just say that, and I think everybody would understand instead of this weird thing where we're like, how is this guy not a Hall of Famer? Do people need to have their votes taken away? Because that is the criteria right there, those resumes.
You know who looks great on NBC now? Jason Garrett.
As always, gleaming whenever he turns toward the camera and that tooth sparkles. We need to get the imaging that supports what it is that we're doing, where Jason Garrett just knows the camera's there, isn't saying anything, and like a department store mannequin, he is moved by the hips toward the camera and smiles with a single gleaming tooth that should make a pinging sound, and that's what he's there to do. Just be former Dallas Cowboys coach.
And still better than Tony Dungy.
This is a little more complicated than that, but I'd make the argument that that show doesn't actually have to aspire to be great. It just has to be on before that game, because if they wanted to be great on that show, they would keep taking more chances or done something else with Dan Patrick and tried to make it more interesting.
They
but
did
it's
do
easier.
That, famously, they did try to do something different with Dan Patrick. That was a thing that happened.
I think they would have kept trying to do things. There's no incentive to take chances when all you have to do is get out of the way for football.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, guys, I got something shocking. A big swing. Big risk we're taking. Let's get one of the most polished, likable sports anchor hosts ever to be a part of our coverage. I'm thinking outside the box here.
Randy Moss says, Greg, before we get to Bet the Castle here, Randy Moss says that only coaches and players should have votes. Now, Dungy's obviously a coach, and Dungy's one of the people doing this that is creating Randy Moss's opinion, where he's saying we need to take away the vote from the writers. He's saying just coaches, just players.
Well, the problem with that is that coaches and players could very well have an axe to grind. Okay, and,
like Dungy.
Yeah, and have their vote influenced by how their career went and how many Super Bowls they think they didn't win because of Bill Belichick, because of Tom Brady. Ostensibly, the writers are more neutral. Ostensibly, we're not fans of a team. We're not influenced. We didn't lose a Super Bowl because Bill Belichick won 6.
Rodney Harrison telling Dungy straight to his face, he designed defenses that stopped you. That's a good line.
It was a bar. No, it was a great moment for Rodney Harrison. Off the list. I turned my ire in the direction of Tony Dungy. Why with this whole Hall of Fame thing and this Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft thing, is everybody being so goddamn cute? Well, why are we being cute? You have your reasons for leaving him off your ballot.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Tell the truth.
Why does it... Everyone's embarrassed now? Like, you did it.
Yeah.
Like, just stick to your guns.
The only one who was apparently telling the truth is Bill Polian. He's actually the only one who told the truth.
We were unfair to him.
We were very unfair to him.
Everybody was, and his son scolded us and should have. Everybody was unfair to Bill Polian. He's just a doddering 81-year-old man who couldn't remember whether he voted for Belichick or not. He was not sinister. He was not evil. Tony, let's bet the castle. Tony, I know Zaz is jealous. I've seen Zaz is always sniffing around those White Castle burgers. He's
so good.
He's jealous that you're the one who gets to do this today. Go ahead, Tony. Give us, let's see what it is that we're betting the castle on.
Definitely, Dan. I'm going to throw the White Castle burgers in the microwave here.
Yeah, dude.
Hit it with a quick little 60 seconds, and we are off. Okay, so my bet the castle. I'm going futures bet again. We talk about the Western Conference. We talk about how OKC, we actually need them to stop Wemby and the alien invasion that's happening with the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to go a little bit further down the board, and I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets plus 450 to win the NBA Finals. I know they're at the fourth seed. They're the fourth seed right now in the Western Conference. Joker missed 6 weeks or so when he got hurt here in Miami across the street at the Kaseya Center. They're playing really good ball. They were able to stabilize the boat without Joker. Joker's back in now, working back into playing shape. They've got their secondary, tertiary guys playing really well. Jamal Murray plays incredible in the playoffs. I think we're going to see some cannibalism happening in the Western Conference. Does OKC make it out? I don't know.
Your mouth is watering.
Yeah, it is.
Your mouth. I can
7
tell.
seconds left.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
5 seconds
but
left.
You don't have to keep talking.
Plus 450 for the Denver Nuggets to win the NBA
the
Finals.
sound of the microwave
Yes,
going off.
go
Nothing
ahead.
better.
Enjoy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yo, bring it in here.
No, I'm not going to bring it in there.
My mouth's watering.
Saslo is jealous. That is a tasty
Oh,
burger.
I'm
Dan.
gonna take it from you.
Bet the Castle is presented to you by White Castle. Hunger says eat, cravings say eat this. And with White Castle's 100% beef, grilled onions, melty cheese, and steamy bun that hold it all together, how can you not crave thy castle?
Can you tell me, Chris Cody, whether Jeremy has completed the song that he has been alone and voyeuristically we've been watching him? That's been cruel. I think it's also a crime to be watching him when he doesn't know we're watching him.
I saw him just mouth the F word in the living room. So yeah.
Okay. Do you have the sound of you reading poorly while you
know
not?
what? We don't
with-
have that.
No, that's
maybe in post game.
Couldn't track that down.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Oh wait, they do have.
I shouldn't have put you in charge.
December, Sheets and Giggles is offering a killer deal. If you want to give something.
Tough one.
And folks, during December, Sheets and Giggles is offering a killer deal. If you want to give some sheety gifts to your friends and family. A buy one, get one half off deal with the code HO HO HO.
So unnatural.
H-O-H-O-H-O.
Can we stop?
Or if you just want to try the sheets for yourself, head to
That's my
Head
boy.
to sheetsgiggles.com/Dan and use the code Dan. This Christmas, you can get 20% off your first order of Sheets and Giggles at
It was enough.
We got it right.
Oh, Sheets and Giggles. Guys, Sheets and Giggles is a game changer. I never used to care what I slept on in my bed, but once I got Sheets and Giggles in my life, I'm never
There's
going
2
to
minutes left.
'Cause I'm
There's,
telling you,
there's 2
it is
minutes
just-
left of this.
So, okay, so I'm by myself. All right, let's play it.
1758, Jose Cuervo would make the new perfect drink for fiestas that await with his blue agave. Get yours at the door. What are you waiting for? And when I'm sipping on Cuervo, I feel it. No other tequila out there can beat it. I made a drink with it and now I'm winning. Cuervo, Cuervo, Cuervo. You add the Cuervo to the cocktail, then the cocktail to my hand. You add the Cuervo to the cocktail, then the cocktail to my hand. You add the Cuervo to the cocktail, then the cocktail to my hand. You add the Cuervo to the...
Hey everybody, it's Mike Ryan. Now, if you've been following the show, you know I've been traveling, been super busy, been supporting my favorite football team with mixed results, right? Not the greatest hang so far in 2026. I try to find every excuse in the book. I had one buddy that was trying to invite me out. I wanted to stay in. He's like, come on, let's watch this NBA game. So I go over to his house. I watched this NBA game, and guess what? Something amazing happened. He pulled out the Miller Lights, and I knew right away I made the right call. Next thing you know, we're toasting, we're celebrating, we're having a great time. We're talking about nostalgia. We're talking about old friends that we had, and it was all thanks to Miller Lite, that icebreaker. It made a decent time a Miller time, and that's what I love about Miller Lite, because when you actually say yes and you actually show up, you want a beer that fits the moment. For me, that's Miller Lite. It's clean, refreshing, easy to drink, just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs. It's been the original light beer since 1975, and there's a reason why it is still iconic. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Put a camera on the frustrated Jeremy out there. He's pissed off at us. He's not even wrong to be pissed off at us. We sort of deserve his rage because we ganged up on him.
What do you mean? He has a 14-minute question.
And it's taking him a long time to make this song, but songs are hard to make. We are really putting pressure on him to quickly make songs, and he's got a certain standard, and we're watching him while he does it, and we're like bothering him. We're playing defense against everything he's doing. We'll get to JuJu here in a second and update the polls, but I wanted to ask the group of you, as it relates to this Pablo reporting, okay? Because Pablo is doing an exceptional job, but I also feel like it can be off-putting and not a great look for us to sort of be grandstanding about why can't anyone else do this work, or why can't anyone else bring attention to this work? The second, to me, is more important than the first. The work is too hard to do to expect everybody in media to be doing this stuff. But it's not too hard, since Pablo is taking the risk of responsibility, to then talk about what it is he's reporting without any legal risk to yourself, because you put the responsibility of it on Pablo. And I don't know how to correctly walk the line between asking the media to please pay attention to what is really good work, don't ignore it, it's hard to do what Pablo's doing, and not looking like we're grandstanding. I don't know how to do it correctly. I think we're off-putting in demanding that the media please pay attention
You
to
sure
this.
are. You sure are. Demanding that people pay attention to Kawhi Leonard. There are aliens with bases in our oceans. The government has told us they exist. And you're talking about Kawhi Leonard. Do we just not have the mental capacity to reconcile that we're not alone in this universe? Do we not want to do that to our theologies? The aliens are here.
I haven't seen any of these aliens.
What?
What did you just mutter?
I got it. I speak
was
Zaz
that?
now.
Yeah.
What did he say?
We'll get to the polls in a second with JuJu. JuJu, do you have any thoughts on Nick Wright? I imagine. When was it? Did you have a timestamp on when it is that you gave us this idea and Nick Wright just stole it to make dunks worth 3 points?
Nah, man, we gonna keep the respect on Nick Wright name, man. He ain't steal nothing from me. I go the other way. I'm not like the rest of the folks in the media who get offended by stuff like that. That's a form of flattery to me and a reminder of what I was saying a couple months ago. Like, whenever I say stuff as Julian G with my tie on, it's taken a little serious, more serious than this guy right here. I know I don't do myself no favors, so just remember that great minds think alike, and if you think Nick Wright is a great mind, you kind of got to lend me that now. You did.
That's very kind of you, but it's just outright thievery. There are timestamps on this. You said this a long time ago, and now Mike Ryan's coming in here all lightheaded about how great Nick was on Bill Simmons' podcast, changing the NBA, fixing the NBA, which is a go-to topic 2 days after the Super Bowl.
That's how it goes, man. Like I said, I brought it in here. I said, bro, I said a couple of things about the Bills earlier in the season. Mina Khan said them about 3 months later. The whole world fell out and couldn't believe how brilliant of a take she had. I told you that the Patriots were frauds like halfway through the season. I told you they haven't played no damn body. I said, what have you done for me lately? I was in Miami when this happened. My Bills beat them. You got beat by my Bills? That tells me a lot about you. And then the world starts saying, oh, put it on Ryan Clark said it. Dan Orlovsky said it. It must be true. Come on, man. I think you got to throw my boy Ju a little bit of respect right now. Huh? You feel me? I've been doing this for a little while. I've been here at this job for 6 years now. That usually makes someone an expert at something. You feel me?
Nostradamus over here.
Ju, to be honest, though, it's just, you're in the same situation I am. Again, not wrong, just early.
Exactly. Not early. Not wrong at all. And I even showed support. I went the other way. I wore the Patriots jersey on here last week because guess what? I'm a friend. Unlike Duncan Robinson, my partner A.J. Highsmith worked for the Patriots. He get paid every time they won in the playoffs. Come on, man. I'm rooting for that still. Good guy over here, bro.
You're telling me, though, like Nick Wright can tell the difference. Guy gets fouled going to the basket if he was trying to dunk it or maybe he was going to do a layup. I mean, last night, Victor Wembanyama, he drove to the basket and he did a finger roll. Like, you would assume he's going to dunk, right? No. He did a finger roll.
Wembanyama can do a finger roll without jumping.
I understand, but that's not a dunk. You wouldn't get 3 points.
I'm with
then for a
Zaz.
finger roll.
Slippery slope. What's a dunk?
I think it's easy to fix that slippery slope. I had it all written out. Once you go up for a layup or a dunk in the paint, that's 3 free throws no matter what. Case closed. Get out of my face.
Whoa.
Do you have any advice for Pablo, Amin, and David Sampson on what it is that they're doing there on Pablo Torre Finds Out?
Pablo. Yes, sir. I got some advice for Metal Art Media, man. These are our brothers. I preach brotherhood and I preach love. We sending them folks to LA this weekend in crypto. We need to give them boys some extra security. We need to make sure they got everything they need. Because imagine, they going into enemy territory. Imagine you work for the Clippers and you see Amin prancing his ass through the bowels of your organization. No sir. Let's make sure we got some $200 an hour brothers with them brothers everywhere they go.
I do think that Pablo's doing actual dangerous work. I don't know whether the people at large in this America, in this protect billionaires America.
I had the thought of when the original aspiration thing came out, where I opened my phone and I saw it and I was like, oh my God, they're gonna kill Pablo at some point. I had that idea like 6 months ago. No.
The aliens are
this
in
is
the
the
ocean.
tip of the iceberg.
They're going to kill Pablo because of salary cap circumvention?
Yeah.
I mean, a little self-important this segment, huh? They're aliens!
Pablo's self-important, not me.
I want to show people here a ride at Disney that has always been scary to me, and it's not one of the ones.
And not a fan of this one.
This ride sucks, by the way.
Sucks.
Terrible
Well,
ride.
the teacup.
No, the teacups are dizzying, and it's unpleasant, and I think I'm a little bit of a baby in not liking this. There are many. This is Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker doing the teacups.
I love the social media people like trailing them.
Yeah, they're having natural
not weird
fun.
at all.
At
They're like,
Disney
we need
World.
our own cups, please.
Yes,
we need to get
we've
this
got
footage.
2 different social media handlers around the organic moment of here's Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker and Sam Darnold, not an original ginger according to Chris Cody, but is an original ginger according to Erling Cody, Chris Cody's mom, and the true authority on these matters. The teacups, how do you feel about this, JuJu? Am I a wimp for hating the teacups? They make me dizzy. They affect my equilibrium. I do not like that ride.
You are a wimp for 100 other reasons, big brother. Neither here nor there. But at the same time, this is proof that I don't believe nothing no more, bro. I don't know what to believe. I see a video, I think it's AI. I watched this video 800 times. I was like, is Brother Sam in the teacup or not? I don't know. We are going 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction as a society. I don't know what this is I'm looking at.
Okay, so that it's the not knowing that it's real that bothers you. It's not that
definitely
Sam
real. Yes.
Darnold and
Play it
Kenneth
again. I
Walker
wanna
are
see this
It's
simply
real.
in
You know
the
how I know it's
teacups.
real? Omar Raja on the screen filming it.
That
the
is it,
entire
right?
time. Yeah, look, that's what I've been looking at the entire time. Is Omar having to film this?
Oh, yeah.
They probably skip people in line for this, by the way.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
I can't tell anything no more. I'm like, are they sitting down for real? But neither here nor there.
Well,
on the Pizzagate.
Yeah, we'll
Go
get to
ahead, bro.
Pizzagate in a second.
Whoa,
but
yes, we will?
I do think, I feel like, not that Pizzagate, I do feel
Big
like,
news there.
like most people here think that I am simply wrong, that it's not about being early or being wrong. I think that they just think I'm wrong about everything I've said about the pizza.
Nah, I don't know. It's just important to. I promise the TV show Traitors, bruh. Oh my goodness, it has changed my life. It has revolutionized my thinking. You be seeing something and think you right as hell, but be wrong as hell. You would see somebody that look like you, walk like you, talk like you, say something, and you just inclined to believe it. No, it's wrong. Brothers, I don't do this in public because I'm a germaphobe, and when I'm in Miami, I'm touching the pizza on the crust only because I can't. Y'all got that soap in the bathroom. It leave my hands stinking. I'm gonna just be honest. I bring my own soap down there. So when I'm at home, though, I tear off the crust because you eliminate the coast. It's like a little ivory coast where the crust turns into pizza. That little Badlands right there, I don't want none of it. I don't even want the possibility of it. I have nothing but a whole chunk of deliciousness in my hand to fold and manipulate how I want to. I don't never touch no pizza or no pepperoni sauce or no cheese. I'm touching
You
the
make
undercarriage.
You make the taco. I got you.
You
now.
feel me? It's brilliant and easy. But let y'all tell it. You are against America if you do this. Come on, guys.
I don't know what
Wake up.
pepperoni sauce is. Is it the juices from pepperoni?
Exactly. You know what pepperoni sauce is. Bro, look at your belly. You know what some damn pepperoni sauce is.
Put up Big Fat Dan. Put up Big Fat Dan.
Get Fat Dan.
It turns a napkin
Black History
orange.
Month. Happy Black History Month, by the way. You feel me? I got some free game for the world right now. In a world that magnify hate and turmoil, just remember, bruh, your people are your people for a reason. It's really up to you to treat them special. The entire world is trying to tear them down for the mistake they made. The entire world don't believe in them. They already don't. They hate them when they walk through the door. You don't have to join in line. You feel me? Your patience and understanding is going to be the world to them. Lend it to your people. They're your people for a reason. That's how you strengthen these bonds down the road. Have people willing to die for you because you took up for them and you had their back when they made a mistake. So, free game for the world.
Yeah, I could see that.
At Le Batard Show, if you want to vote on the polls. And again, if we want to get love advice from Greg Cody, the telephone number is 305-486-GOTS, 305-486-4689. He's going to do this live at the end of the week. I get to feel like I make the argument that I'm not wrong. I'm just early on being fooled by the internet. I was fooled by the internet before the rest of you were fooled by the internet. If JuJu is now too old, if JuJu, our social media guy, is not savvy enough to realize that he's going to be made a sucker by the internet, I wasn't wrong. I was just early.
Maybe let's not put that wording out like that. I'm savvy enough. I want to keep my job. Hold on. Whoa. But at the same time, we got breaking news out of the NBA. The NBA suspensions for the Pistons-Hornets fight has been released. Isaiah Stewart, 7 games. Miles Bridges, 4 games. Musa Diabate, 4 games. And Jalen Duren, 2 games.
How many Duncan Robinson get?
Exactly.
He gets
they gave him extra games.
Yes,
Eternal shame. He gets eternal shame, Duncan Robinson, from walking away. That's light on Isaiah Stewart, I thought.
I thought he was going to get 10.
All right.
I like that it's light. League saying play on. I dig that. More fights.
Coming off the bench, though,
Yeah.
that's a dangerous precedent.
Why do you think they
to set.
drafted him to Detroit?
That's exactly right.
What?
What'd you just say?
You know
At
what I
Le
said.
Batard Show,
That.
on the poll questions, what do you have for us today, JuJu?
Well, I mean, this has never happened before in the history of the show, bruh. My boy ain't putting out one poll up today. I'm talking about not one of them. So, as a treat, was Dave Portnoy the first person to call the bottom of a pizza the undercarriage? And before I read this, I got to remind you to listen to the alley-oop at DLS Hoops. That's how you find it. If you ain't hating, why you waiting? Subscribe, please. 65% of the audience says yes, Dave Portnoy was the first person to call the bottom of a pizza the undercarriage, and that is your poll.
All right. Thank you, JuJu. We will staple to the end of this whenever Jeremy is finished with it, the song that he spent the last hour making in a room alone, vulnerable and ashamed, because look at Tony. Tony betrayed him.
I didn't betray him.
Mike betrayed him. You guys, look at him. He's
Mean it's a
losing.
quarterback, Dan. Ever heard that?
He's leaking confidence. Look at him out there. He doesn't feel good. He doesn't like us very much.
Playing music.
Is he shooting me the bird there?
I think that is. I think that's a middle finger.